Yo, welcome back to Eat, Sleep, Breathe Hoops with your boy, Nikki P. Y'all know what time it is. The pursuit of transcendence in sports is a rare and a beautiful alchemy. It's the moment a collection of athletes in matching uniforms stop being just a team and becomes an idea, a timeless symbol that echoes far beyond the scoreboard. The franchise that transcends its sports doesn't just win championships, it etches its identity into the cultural bedrock, becoming a global benchmark for excellence, style, and meaning. This is not an accident. It's a deliberate, almost mythical recipe forged over decades. To understand this recipe, we must analyze its core ingredients and then see how they've been particularly and perfectly mixed in the cauldrons of the NBA's most iconic franchises, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Boston Celtics, and the New York Knicks. The recipe begins with a foundation of non-negotiable elements without which transcendence is impossible. Ingredient number 1, the cornerstone of dynastic greatness. First and foremost, you need all-time great players winning championships in their primes. This is the non-negotiable bedrock. A transcendent franchise is built on the backs of giants, players who are not just stars, but forces of nature who redefine how the game is played. These aren't fleeting moments of success. They are dynastic runs that create mythology. The 1980s Lakers, the 1960s Celtics, the 1990s Bulls. These aren't just champions, they're historical epochs. Winning creates the legend, but winning with a specific identity is what makes it immortal. The championships are the bricks, but the identity is the mortar. Ingredient number 2, the embodied attitude and swagger. This leads to the second, perhaps the most crucial ingredient. The attitude and swagger of the best player must become the attitude and swagger of the entire franchise from top to bottom and its fan base. The superstar is the avatar. Their demeanor, be it the cold, calculating killer instinct of Michael Jordan, the improvisational genius and joy of Showtime of a Magic Johnson, or the relentless fundamental brutality of a Bill Russell. It infects the entire organization. This attitude becomes the franchise's aura. It's the palpable energy you feel when you walk into the arena. The unmistakable style of play, the way the teams carry itself in victory and defeat. This swagger is the franchise's soul, translated into a universal language that everyone can understand and be drawn to. Ingredient number 3, an unquenchable competitive fire. Underpinning all of this is a desire to compete and win that is stronger than all others, that you don't see in a stat sheet, but you see in the play and on the film. This isn't just about wanting to win. It's about a pathological fear of losing, a refusal to accept mediocrity that borders on obsession. This competitive fire is the engine that sustains the dynasty. It's what drives legends to drag their exhausted teammates across the finish line in Game 7. It's the chip on the shoulder that keeps a franchise hungry even after a parade. This fire becomes the franchise's oxygen, ensuring that the pursuit of excellence is not a phase, but a permanent state of being. Ingredient number 4, a loyal, global fan base. Finally, you need a fan base whose loyalty becomes legendary. This is where the franchise truly transcends. The fans aren't just local, they become a global tribe. People from different countries, cultures, and backgrounds are drawn to the aura. They become diehard fans not because of geography, but because of an emotional connection to the franchise's story, its players, and its identity. They rep the gear, they know the history, they defend the honor of a team as if it were their own family. This global legion is what turns a regional sports team into a worldwide cultural phenomenon. The trinity of basketball transcendence. Now let's see how these ingredients are perfectly assembled into the NBA's 3 most transcendent franchises. When teams excel, the entire sport of basketball wins. The Los Angeles Lakers, the pantheon of glamour and greatness. The Los Angeles Lakers represent the ingredient of Showtime, swagger, and star power mystique more than any other franchise. Their recipe is built on a foundation of glamour, winning, and an unapologetic embrace of the spotlight. The cornerstone of greatness, the Lakers' history is a parade of the top 5 all-time players in their absolute primes, from George Mikan to Jerry West to Wilt Chamberlain to the unparalleled 1980s dynasty of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic to the dominant Shaq and Kobe three-peat. Each era delivered championships, but more than that, they delivered moments that define the sport. The embodied attitude. Magic Johnson's Showtime was a perfect distillation of the Lakers' swagger. It wasn't just about winning, it was about how you won. The no-look passes, the fast break, the smile, It was a declaration that basketball was not just a game, but a performance, an art form. Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality then took that swagger and sharpened it into a ruthless, obsessive pursuit of perfection. The fan base adopted this, celebrating not just victory, but the style and audacity with which it was achieved. The franchise's aura is one of celebrity, of being the stars of the biggest stage. The global fan base. The Lakers' connection to Hollywood and their superstar players have made them a global brand. From the streets of Manila to the courts of Beijing, you see purple and gold. People are drawn to the glamour, the winning tradition, and the sheer magnitude of the personalities who have worn the jersey. They are the embodiment of the American dream, where talent and charisma can make you a global icon. The Boston Celtics, the cathedral of grit and tradition. If the Lakers are Hollywood, the Boston Celtics are a cathedral of a basketball tradition. Their recipe is built on grit, collective sacrifice, and a history of winning that is the most decorated in the NBA. The cornerstone of greatness. The Celtics' 17 championships are the most in NBA history. This dynasty was built on the backs of legends like Bill Russell, who won 11 of them things in only 13 years. Then came the Havlicek stole the ball heroics of John Havlicek in the 1970s battles, the blue-collar brilliance of Larry Bird in the 80s, the rivalry with him and Magic Johnson that kept the NBA from going out of business, and the 2008 championship led by the new Big Three with KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. These eras are not just championships, they're foundational texts in the history of the game. The embodied attitude. The Celtics swagger is not about flash, it's about substance. It's the unyielding, almost brutal fundamentalism of Bill Russell's defense. It's the trash-talking, pull up in your face, I'm better than you and I'll prove it ethos of Larry Bird and Paul Pierce. It's the attitude is Celtic pride, a belief that the franchise is the standard, and its success is built on hard work, discipline, and a deep, almost spiritual connection to the game's history. The fans are the same. They're knowledgeable, passionate, and demand excellence, not just entertainment. The global fan base. The Celtics' global appeal is tied to their history and their underdog-overdog dichotomy. They are the classic, the original Titans. For international fans who admire the history and the nuts and bolts of the game, the Celtics represent the purest form of basketball. Their aura is one of unassailable tradition and respect. The New York Knicks, the heartbeat of a city's soul. The New York Knicks are the most unique of the three. Their transcendence isn't just about winning. It's about heart, resilience, and being the ultimate representation of the city's identity. That blue-collar type of chip. Their potential for excellence is a sleeping giant that, when awakened, is the most powerful force in basketball. The cornerstone of greatness. The Knicks' championship history is shorter than the other two titles in 1970 and 73, but their impact is seismic. The 1970 team, led by the iconic Willis Reed, is the very definition of a transcendent moment. Reed limping onto the court for Game 7 of the Finals is not just a great NBA moment. It's one of the greatest moments in all of sports history. The 1990s Knicks, led by Patrick Ewing, didn't win a title, but they became a global phenomenon. Their battles with the Bulls and the Pacers defined the era because they played with a desperation and physicality that perfectly mirrored the city's us against the world mentality. The embodied attitude. The Knicks' swagger is pure New York. It's a gritty, in-your-face, unflinching attitude. It's the don't cross us mentality of Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason. It's the unadulterated heart of a Willis Reed or a John Starks. This attitude permeates the fan base, making Madison Square Garden the most electric and intense arena in the league. The franchise's aura is one of raw passion, emotional volatility, and a deep, almost primal connection to the city's identity. When the Knicks are good, the energy in the city is palpable, a collective roar of defiance and pride. The global fan base. The Knicks' global appeal is rooted in the fact that New York City is a global brand. People from all over the world dream of New York, and the Knicks are a central character in that dream. The orange and blue is synonymous with the city's relentless energy. Fans worldwide are drawn to the underdog spirit, the loud and loyal fan base, and the knowledge that at Madison Square Garden, the mecca of basketball, history is always waiting to be made. The ripple effect. When these giants excel, basketball wins. When the Lakers, Celtics, or Knicks are at their peak, It is undeniably great for the game of basketball. Their success elevates the entire sport, drawing in casual fans and reinvigorating the passion of the diehards. It generates unrivaled storylines. The league's greatest narratives are written by these franchises. The Magic Bird rivalry that saved the NBA in the 80s that I was alluding to earlier. The Shaq Kobe era captivated the world. The Lakers Celtics finals of 2008 and 2010 were a ratings bonanza, reminding everyone of the historic animosity and respect between the two titans. When the Knicks are relevant, it adds a layer of pure, unadulterated drama to the playoff picture. These are the storylines that transcend sports and become part of pop culture. It sets the standard of excellence. When these iconic franchises are great, they force the rest of the league to elevate its game. Their successes raise the bar for talent and acquisition, coaching, and organizational culture. Other teams measure themselves against the Lakers' Showtime, the Celtics' tradition, and the Knicks' passion. They become the benchmarks. It captures the global imagination. Basketball is a global game, and its biggest ambassadors are its most iconic teams. When these franchises are thriving, they are the face of the league to the world. They attract new fans, they drive merchandise sales, and create a sense of prestige around the NBA that no other teams can replicate. A competitive star-studded Lakers-Celtics rivalry or a deep playoff run by the Knicks generates a global buzz that transcends basketball, reminding everyone why this sport is so special. The recipe for transcendence is a complex and delicate one. It requires a foundation of dynastic greatness, the embodiment of a powerful attitude by its greatest players, an unquenchable, competitive fire that becomes its lifeblood, and the cultivation of a loyal, global fan base that believes in the franchise's aura. The Los Angeles Lakers, the Boston Celtics, and the New York Knicks are the ultimate case studies. They are more than basketball teams. They are enduring cultural institutions that have shaped the sport and the world around it. Their success is not just a victory for their fans, but a victory for the entire game of basketball, proving that when the sport's most powerful franchises are at their best, the entire world is reminded of the beauty, drama, and timeless power of competition. Once again, this is what it takes. These are the ingredients to develop a transcendent, timeless, classic franchise. And once again, you've been rocking with Eat, Sleep, Breathe, Hoops. And until the next time, hop in that comment section, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, smash that share button, and I'll holla at you on the next one. Peace.